Hello everyone, my name is Ajmerdin and welcome to my channel Analyze with Ajmerdin. This is 71st annual report of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, notified on the Gazette of India, and it highlights some of the key aspects which are good for understanding for stakeholders like members, students and the future aspirants. First thing first, in this video I would like to highlight our concerns which we were expecting in this report and which is highlighted or not highlighted here. Some of the statistics which is mentioned here and good for understanding of the what overall scenarios going on in the market. First of all, there are around 3,07,238 members, which is reported in this report as on 31st March 2020. First thing now, there are some standing committee, executive committee, finance committee, but we are concerned with the examination committee. It mentions the statistics of May 2019 examination, November 2019 examination, but we were concerned more about the last year's student demand about the right of getting the papers answer sheet rechecked. The demand was very simple and it was technically to be done through the amendment in section 39(4), and to cool down that situation, institute came up with the idea of setting up a committee which will suggest the amendments, which will suggest the reforms which can be done. But I'm surprised to see that there is no mentioning of such committee here. The institute has mentioned various achievements, various programs which has been done, various committee which has been set up, but nowhere it is mentioned about the examination committee, about that reform thing which happened, which were demanded by the students last year. In nowhere. If you found, just let me know through the comment box. But they have mentioned in one paragraph that the institute has continuously been improving the examination process right from the question paper setting stage up to the declaration of results, so that the integrity of the examination system, which is well known, around 7 decades are maintained. So up to declaration of result should be like up to the final declaration of results and taking up the student's query. This should be mentioned here, and the name of the committee should be mentioned here, that what committee they have promised to set up, and the committee has had to be given the committee must have to come up with the ideas, with the suggestions about the reforms. It is nowhere mentioned here, and we are surprised to see that. Next thing which I want to highlight here is, in the last video I talked about the campus placement. Around 9,000 students, 9,000 newly qualified chartered accountants applied for campus placement, and only 3,000 were awarded with the job. So this is around 33%, if we can say. So institute must have been clarified further that how many newly qualified chartered accountants applied, which is, we know that 9,000 is there. How many attended the interviews? So it could be like only 5,000 attended the interview. Then the statistics that 3,000 out of 5,000 selected will be a good representation of the fact, but only representation that 9,000 applied but 3,000 got the job was not at all satisfactory to the expectations. Because if we talk about that, then what about the rest of the two-third participants, two-third newly qualified chartered accountant? Whether they got job, whether they started their own practice, this is not clear. We are talking about the practice now here. So in the initial in the starting of the video, we talk about there are 3,07,238 members. So the institute has given us statistics that how many are them in full-time practice and not in practice. So if we talk about associates first, so there are around 2 lakh associate members here, and out of that not practicing are 1,49,000. So that means there must be newly qualified, there must be members who are doing job, joining the industry, or might be they are doing further studies. So not practicing are more, very high numbers, 1,50,000, and full-time practice are 53,000 only. If you talk about fellow members, the statistics drastically change, and out of 99,000 members, full-time practice are 82,000 and not practicing are only 13,000. So these are the statistics, pie chart for the fellow members. And if we see, the blue area is more which is practicing, And if you talk about associate members, the green area is more, which is not in practice at all, which is around, I think, 3/4 of the total members, total associate members. Okay, let us now talk about one of the further key aspect which I was expecting are registered students. Now here, if I talk about registered students, there is a drastic drop on the year 2018-19. If we see that there is a trend of less registration of students in various courses. First of all, let us talk about foundation course. So in the CPT we see the trend from 2009-10. There is a constant till 2013, 12-13, and there is a sudden drop, yearly drop on the students registration. That means the new fresh 12th pass students are not joining this course all of a sudden. And now if we talk about a new foundation course, and there was only 9,000 entry in new foundation in 2017-18, and it has been increased to further 45,000 and then 63,000 in 2019-20. So there has been a gradual increase on the same. But if we compare with the previous statistics of the CPT joining when there was no new foundation course, it is still not 1/3 of the same. And this is surprised to see that not even the half of the previous joinings. Now if you talk about students registered, it is it got drastically dropped down on 2018-19, and there is a sudden increase as well in 19-20. That could be because old students has been now registered into the new course. So there is a trend showing on that uh, the students are not getting and not entering into the course all of a sudden. I don't know what is the reason, but the institute must come up with a proper explanation of the same. So that was it. My three concerns were raised here. First of all, the demand of amendment of section 39(4), which is right to getting the examination answer sheet rechecked if the student find some kind of lacuna is not present here. The mentioning of committee is not present here, which was expected to be expected to give the report of for the suggestions on the ICAI reforms, is not mentioned here. Number two, we talk about the fellow members and associate members statistics with a pie chart, that in the associates non-practicing are 3/4 and in fellow members the practicing are 3/4. There is a drastic change in the scenario. And number three, we can say the students are getting registered less in this course, and which is the institute must come up with a proper explanation that why this is happening, instead of taking so much reform criteria, so much of learning experience criteria, online learnings, why the students are not registering here. Thank you very much.